All right, so we're going to move on now to talk about the actual equation of a circle. The equation of a circle, I'm just going to give it to you, is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. I hope when you look at that, it rings a bell. It actually is a version of the Pythagorean theorem. See, don't write this, just watch. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. All right, so the equation of a circle is also a form of the Pythagorean theorem. And also, if we take the square root, just to get the r alone, don't do this again on your paper, just watch. What does that turn into? R equals this, the distance formula. Okay, so these are all related to each other. So I'm going to tell you what each thing stands for. In the formula, x and y stand for a point on the circle. R stands for the radius. And h and k are the coordinates of the center of the circle. So we're going to build this formula and show you how to use it. Let me zoom out just a little bit. All right, so we're going to look at this graph and tell what the center is. There it is, the center of the circle. So that's 1, 2, 3, -2. If the center of the circle is h and k, then h is 3 and k is -2. X and y are h and k. The radius, again, we can count, is 2. And I'm just going to write it again here. X minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared is the equation of a circle. So if we want to write the equation of this circle, then we're going to do x minus h, which is 3, squared, plus y minus k, but k is already negative, so y plus 2 squared equals 2, the radius, squared, which is 4. And that's it. That's the equation of a circle. So let's go through and do a couple of these. I'm going to do one, you do one, like that. All right, so we have the center and the radius, x minus 5 squared plus y minus 3 squared equals the radius, 2 squared. All right, pause the video, write the next one, unpause the video, and check. Good. Did you get it right? Make sure these signs are right. That's really important. The next one is just one step different because instead of giving us the radius, they gave us the diameter. So you just need to change that to radius, half of it, 9. And then write the equation. It's going to be plus 2 because it's negative over here. And then 9 squared is 81. So pause the video, do number 4. Now, if you had on yours x minus 0 squared, that's okay. But just understand that if you see just x squared or just y squared by themselves, it means that the coordinate was 0. All right, so let's look at the next one. We know the center, so we have x, and it'll be plus 4 squared, plus, it's y minus 0 squared, so just y squared, equals, and we need to square the radius. Well, the radius is the square root of 47 squared. These are opposites. They cancel each other out. So the radius of this squared is 47. Okay, do number 6. Pause the video, do number 6. Did you get it right? Okay, great. We're going to do a couple more complicated ones now. We want to write the equation of a circle with a center 9, 10 that passes through 7, 4. Well, we know h and k because the center is h and k. If it passes through negative 7, 4, that would be our x and our y, because x and y stand for a point on the circle. And the radius, well, it doesn't give us the radius, but we can use the distance formula to find the radius, because if you think of this on a graph, right, to find the radius, you would find the length between this point and that point. The other way you could do it, and I'll do it that way because it's really the same thing, is you can use the equation of a circle, because in the equation of a circle, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius squared. This can solve for the radius too. So I'm going to plug in what we know. We know x is 7 minus h squared plus y, 4, minus k, 10 squared equals the radius squared. So that's going to be negative 2 squared plus negative 6 squared. So 4 plus 36, and that equals 40. So the radius squared is 40, which is actually helpful right there. But if you want to know the radius by itself, take the square root. So the square root of 40 equals the radius. And now we have that information. And we could put that in simplified radical form, but for the moment, I'm just going to leave it. So to write the equation, we're going to do x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals the radius, which was the square root of 40, squared. So 40. That's the equation of the circle. All right, let's look at the next one. Write the equation of a circle with a center, so there's h and k, of negative 1, 4, and a circumference of 6 pi. And we need the radius. How do we use the circumference to find the radius? Well, what's the circumference formula? 2 pi r. And we know the circumference. And now we can solve for the radius. So 3 is the radius. So the equation would be x minus k, or h, which is negative 1, so plus 1, y minus k squared equals the radius 3 squared, 9. There's the equation. All right, now we're going to go backwards. I have a feeling this video is going to cut off, so make sure you watch the last little bit on the next video. Actually, let's just stop here, and then I'll start a new video for the last tiny bit.